Hi, I'm Chuck Joyner, and this is the MacVoices update for December 2019. Actually, folks, this is the last MacVoices update for the decade, which is hard to believe. I have left the update to the very end of this month, uncharacteristically, for a couple reasons. First off, we were so busy getting all the gift guides up during the month of December before the big shopping holidays and the gift-giving holidays that I didn't want to interrupt the flow. But second, I also wanted to make sure that I got certain messages to you right here at as close to the end of the year as possible so that you know what's going on with MacVoices and are prepared for some of the changes that will happen over the next couple weeks. First up, sort of looking back a little bit at the gift guides, I wanted to make sure that just because the holidays are over doesn't mean the gift guides are useless anymore. These are great roundups of great products from a lot of great people, and perhaps best of all, they're a lot of fun. So if you haven't listened to them all, please go back. I think at the very least you will enjoy them. And second, I think you'll find some products that maybe you might be interested in for all that cash that you got for the holidays. At least I hope you got some cash for the holidays. A couple ways you can do this, actually three. First, you can go to the show notes of each individual gift guide show. Second, of course, is the MacVoices 2019 Holiday Gift Guide on Flipboard, and that is also available through the web link. But I have also posted, and it'll be in the show notes to this particular update, a page on the MacVoices site that aggregates all of the gift guide picks along with the people who picked them. I didn't try to do any other order than just the folks who picked them, and they are roughly chronological from the earliest gift guides to the latest. So you can go any of those places, you click the links. Full disclosure, this is another way to support MacVoices because whenever the gifts are available on Amazon, I do use Amazon affiliate links. But that takes nothing away from them. None of the gifts were picked because they were Amazon. In fact, we had quite a few non-Amazon gift picks this year. So go and check those out if you need good products, great gift ideas, or you just want to have a little fun. Second, I want to mention once again our RSS feed transitions. It looks like there may have been a little hiccup with the MacVoices video feeds. I'm not quite sure. So if you are in doubt, please go to iTunes, go to your favorite podcatcher, maybe unsubscribe from MacVoices and resubscribe to make sure you are getting the right feed. As far as I know, all the feeds that are live on all the different podcatching directories and sites, including iTunes, are correct and are being updated. And I definitely don't want to lose anybody in this transition, and I apologize for even having to mention that because I had hoped it would go smoothly. It seemed to go smoothly with the audio, but I'm not sure. So just to be safe, check and see if you're most likely, unless you're watching this on the website, if you're watching this through a podcatcher, you're good. But just in case. Next up, I wanted to mention the MacVoices schedule coming up for not only the rest of 2019, which is only a few days, but also into the first part of 2020. This time of year, it's really difficult to gather up guests. Everybody is busy either taking time off, spending time with family and friends, or just the usual holiday crush activities. So the MacVoices shows may be a little bit light this week and next week. Or this week and the end of this week, into next week as well. Next week, I'll be at CES doing interviews and getting ready to bring those back to you. Every year I say I'm going to publish some stuff at CES, and it never happens just because of the time crunches and the demands, and occasionally an hour or two of sleep. So, don't think that MacVoices went anywhere for 2020. It will be back in full force with the CES coverage, and I'm really looking forward to that because it's exhausting, but it's always a good time. And while I already have quite a few interviews booked and booths to stop by, there are always those that you walk by and think, hey, that looks interesting from an Apple perspective, or maybe just from a general tech perspective. And I like to bring those to you and have you enjoy them as much as I do. So those are the main pieces of news for December, except, of course, for our support report. And this is a special extra thank you to all the folks that have stuck with us and continue to be Patreon supporters and help bring you MacVoices every month. I can't say thank you enough to these folks because they're really the reason that MacVoices keeps going from a cost perspective. Yes, we accept sponsorships from outside companies, and that's great, but I feel like the backbone really is the Patreon and PayPal supporters, and I really, really appreciate everything you guys do. So with that, at Platinum this time, we have RVS. At Silver, we have Chuck A., Max C., Michael D., Bruce E., Norbert F., David G., Tim G., Chuck P., Frank P., George R., and Daniel S. And at Bronze, we have Clinton M., Giro M., and Prop P. And one last time, thank you to all those folks and all the folks who have come and gone as both Patreon and PayPal supporters this year. I was hit with a couple price increases on some of the services I use to produce and deliver Mac Voices this year, and having that backbone of supporters really, really does make a difference and makes it easier to absorb those costs and move forward. So that's it for 2019. I can't believe it. We're already at the end of the decade, and I say already because it seems like it was just 2015 not long ago. But we're looking forward to another great new decade with a lot of great shows and a lot of great guests, and I hope you will join us. So I hope you and your family have the best, happiest, and safest of New Year's celebrations, and I'll see you back here in 2020 on Mac Voices.
Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with Mac Voices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.